The next speaker is Kyle Rabin.
Chairman Steinberg and members of the Board of Trustees, President Law, and the LIPA team. Good afternoon. My name is Kyle Rabin. I'm the Director of the Network for New Energy Choices, also a LIPA customer and one of LIPA's solar pioneers. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak before you today. Congratulations to the LIPA team on the Fitch upgrade. Each week brings new announcements from LIPA regarding its clean energy efforts. The work that LIPA is engaged in is impressive and very encouraging. Long Island is clearly on track towards a cleaner energy future that will provide health, economic, and environmental benefits. Personally, I'm very supportive of the offshore wind project. It may not be an issue that my group weighs in on, but I just wanted to state that your leadership and vision on this project is amazing. I do share, the concern raised by Neil that you pursue this effort with your partners as swiftly as possible, but in a manner that is very cautious so that the concerns that have been raised in the past don't affect this project in an adverse manner. In addition to reducing air pollution and greenhouse gases, a cleaner power portfolio will also benefit water resources and aquatic ecosystems by reducing fish kills and thermal pollution. National Grid's 5 power plants use antiquated cooling water intake systems that draw in nearly 2 billion gallons of water per day and kill more than 10 billion fish eggs, and larvae per year. Countless microscopic aquatic life, such as phytoplankton, which play a critical role at the lower levels of the food chain, are also destroyed. These 5 power plants can also discharge excessive levels of heat that alter the habitat and wildlife populations inhabiting the waters surrounding the plant. From a scientific perspective, cooling water intake structures adversely affect the aquatic ecosystem in a highly pervasive manner. The federal and regulatory agencies have gathered extensive evidence demonstrating that intake structures depress adult fish stocks. Relying on studies prepared by the New York State DEC and the US EPA has found that the loss of large numbers of aquatic critters may affect not only stock of various species, but also the overall health of ecosystems. Mortality of early life stages alters the integrity of the natural environment. As is the case with climate change, it's critically important to follow the science. Unfortunately, some of the information being put forth is perpetuating myths about the extent of the problem and the technological solution. One of those myths relates to fish populations. The argument that the loss of billions of eggs and larvae each year does not have an adverse environmental impact has been proven by the EPA to be false. And that's in terms of the EPA's look at this issue, it's gone through 2 federal rulemakings in which the DEC, the research of the DEC has been used by the EPA to show that this argument is a false argument. As you know, New York State DEC has issued a draft permit requiring that a closed-cycle cooling intake system be installed at the Barrett Power Plant to address the massive fish kills.
Your time is up, so if you wouldn't mind wrapping up, thank you.
Absolutely. This technology has long been accepted as best technology available. Closed-cycle cooling is being used at other plants in New York State and elsewhere in the U.S. Any new plant built today must use closed-cycle cooling. We understand that repowering the Barrett Power Plant is one option on the table, and we hope LIPA will seriously explore that possibility with the appropriate stakeholders. Of course, other options include retrofitting an existing plant, plant retirement, and even greater investment in renewable energy and energy efficiency. The latter options are critical in meeting the state's 45 by 15 goals and aggressively confronting climate change. I'll just wrap up by saying by confronting this issue of thermal pollution and fish kill, you're also addressing greenhouse gas emissions. The 2 go hand in hand, and obviously you're already taking efforts to invest more in cleaner power, and I hope we could look to LIPA to be a leader in resolving this issue in terms of the impact that these 5 plants have.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kyle.
Our next speaker, Gordian, do you wish to speak? You're on the list.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and President. My name is Gordian Rocky. I'm Executive Director of a not-for-profit organization called Renewable Energy Long Island. Since there was some discussion here about going too fast or maybe going too slow, I just thought I'd mention that I looked this up actually on my computer. We worked with the Pace University Energy Project back in 1998. Came out with a report that recommended, among other things, to study offshore wind energy for Long Island. I had black hair back then. It's a while ago, and I have pictures to prove it. But you know, yesterday was a great day for offshore wind energy in this country with the Cape Wind approval, but it took them 9 years to get there. I happen to have in the car a New York Times article from April 27th in the business section. Title is "Reaping Power from Ocean Breezes." The article states that in Europe they have 800 offshore wind turbines in the water as of today, and China is putting in, or has its first project commissioned already with about 100 megawatts offshore. I'm afraid we're falling behind if we have this go slow approach, and I'm very encouraged today to see that you're considering an MOU that will get us started, or get us started again on this very, very important process. We need to cover all the bases. We need to do the research that needs to be done, the environmental studies and all of that. But I think we need to also realize that we have some deadlines to meet, and we have some planetary deadlines to meet. And nature can be pretty tough when it comes to deadlines. We're talking climate change. We're talking a few other things here. The thing I think we need to do now is build the foundation for a clean energy future for Long Island, for the state of New York, and for this country. And we cannot delay that task. The debate about that is important, but we cannot just debate these issues anymore. We need to build and lay the foundation for that. And I hope that today's vote of the trustees will begin that process in earnest and move that forward. I wanted to add one other thing, which was the cost question, of course, comes up. And that's an important economic concern. But when we talk about cost, and of course offshore wind power is more expensive than onshore, and typically renewable energy in the short term is more expensive than conventional fossil fuel use. But one thing we have to realize is that we are buying insurance. We're buying insurance when we invest in renewable energy sources against future fossil fuel price spikes, and we're buying insurance against regulations in a carbon-constrained economy that will hit us dearly in the pocketbook if we don't invest in the right resources. So I'm encouraged by the discussion today. I urge you and I commend you for what you've already done, and I urge you to adopt this resolution and move forward with this. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Does anybody else from the public wish to be heard on this?